Hello students, in this video we are starting with the 5th chapter, arithmetic progressions. So we'll see in this video what are arithmetic progressions, some examples of arithmetic progressions, and also what are first term or how an arithmetic progression is written in general form, and about first term, and also what is a common difference. All these terms you are going to learn in this video. So before we directly jump to arithmetic progressions, here I have a list of numbers. Okay, you can see here I have some set of numbers which are written. Let us take the first example. Now look at these set of numbers very carefully. Okay. Now look at the second number and the first number. Okay, similarly look at these two numbers. Okay, take any two consecutive numbers and see whether you can find any pattern in this number. Okay, if you see, I get this term or the second term by adding 2 to the first term, correct? When I add 2 to this first term, I get the second term. Similarly, if I add 2 to this term 3, if I add 2 to this number 3, then I get the next number which is 5. When I add 2 to 5, I get 7. Similarly, when I'll add 2 to 7, I'll get the next number. So you can see each number, okay, each number is obtained by adding 2 to the previous number. So this set of numbers which are there here, you can see that they follow a certain pattern. Okay, the pattern is you obtain the next number by adding 2 to the previous number. Let us take another example. Okay, look at this example here. If you look at the second term is if you add 1 to the first term, if you add 1 to the first number, you'll get -4. -4 plus 1 will give you -3. -3 plus 1 will give you -2. And -2 plus 1 will give you -1. -1 plus 1 will give you 0. So 0 plus 1 will give you 1, and so on. So again, if you see, these numbers also follow a certain rule or a pattern where each number is obtained by adding 1 to the previous number. This is the third example. In this example, if you see, how do you get the next number? You see that this number 10 is obtained if you subtract 3 from the first number. So 13 minus 3 is 10. Then 10 minus 7 is 3. And 7 minus 3, 10 minus 7, 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 minus 3 will be 1, and so on. So you see each number is obtained by subtracting 3 from the previous number. So in each of these examples you must have observed some pattern. Okay, that is the succeeding number or the number that comes next is obtained by adding a fixed number, okay, by adding or subtracting, or sometimes it may even be multiplying. Okay, we have taken only cases of addition and subtraction. I'll give you one example of, say, multiplication. So if you see here, I get the next number by multiplying 3 to the previous number. 3 3s are 9, 9 3s are 27. So you can see that each of these numbers, they are obtained by adding, subtracting, or multiplying a fixed number to the previous number. Okay, and these sequences that you get, or these set of numbers that you get, they are called sequences. Okay, what are sequences? Sequence is a set of numbers arranged, okay, in some definite order. So they are arranged in a particular order. You can see the numbers that they follow in certain order, and they are formed according to some rule. Okay, so they are formed according to some rule. So in one of the examples, the rule was you get the previous number, you get the next number by adding the fixed number to a previous number. So you see, a sequence is a set of numbers arranged in some definite order and formed according to some rules. Okay, so that is the meaning of a sequence. Now you consider this sequence. This is the sequence starting from 3. So 3, 6, 9, 12 and so on. Now each of these numbers that you see in the sequence, they have a particular name given to them. So these numbers that you see in the sequence, they are called terms. Okay, each of these numbers are called terms of the sequence. So this is one term, this is one term, this is one term, and this is one term. So each of these numbers in the sequence, they are called terms. Now after we saw what is a sequence, it brings us to the main part of this chapter, that is arithmetic progression. So what is arithmetic progression? It is a sequence, okay, in which each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term except the first term. Okay, a sequence in which each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term except the first term is called an arithmetic progression. Arithmetic progression is written as AP in short form. So the short form for arithmetic progression is AP. So when we say AP, it stands for short form of arithmetic progression. So each term is obtained by adding a fixed term. That is what is arithmetic progression mean. So if you see this, is this an arithmetic progression? You can see each term is obtained by adding a fixed number to the preceding term, correct? Okay, so 3 is obtained by adding plus 2 to this, 5 by adding plus 2 to this, 7 by adding plus 2 to this, and so on, except the first term. First term is you don't get by adding any number, okay, it is taken as it is. The term after the first term, all the terms you obtain by adding a fixed number. Fixed number means same number. Okay, if you add plus 2 here, here also it should be plus 2. Only then it is an arithmetic progression. Now look at this number, or look at this sequence. Is this an arithmetic progression? If it is an arithmetic progression, each number or each term should be obtained by adding a fixed number to the previous term. So if you see here, if I add plus 2, I get 3. Next, here if I add plus 1, I get 4. Here if I add plus 3, I get 7. So you see, the number that you are adding to each succeeding term is not the same, okay? So it is not a fixed number that you add to each of these terms to get the next number. So this is not an arithmetic progression, because here the fixed number that is added is not the same. So the condition is fixed number should be added to each of the preceding term, or preceding means previous term, to get the next term. Okay, so that is the definition of arithmetic progression. Now let us note down some important things. First, the fixed number which is added to the preceding term, it has a name. It is called the common difference of the AP. The fixed number is called the common difference of the AP, and it is denoted by small letter d. Why it is called a common difference? Let me tell you why. Suppose you take the sequence, say 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. If you subtract these two, what you get? 3 minus 1 is 2. Okay. 5 minus 3 is 2. 7 minus 5 is 2. So when you subtract two consecutive terms, you get the same or common difference. That's why it is called common difference D. Okay, that's why it is called common difference. So the fixed number is called the common difference of the AP and denoted by T. Now this common difference can be a positive number, it can be a negative number, or it can be 0. Okay, so depending on the sequence progression that is given to you, the common difference can be positive, negative, or 0. Okay, in the sequence, if you want to write the sequence in the general form, then the first term of an AP is denoted by A1, second term by A2, small letter A with the number 1 here. So it's denoted by A1, second term by A2, third term will be A3, and so on. And what will be the nth term denoted by? Nth term will be denoted by A. This is small letter n. So what will be your AP then? Your AP will become A1, A2, the list will go on, AN, and so on. So this is how you denote an arithmetic progression. Now let us take this example. Okay, this is an arithmetic progression because the difference, if you subtract these two, you will get 2. 6 minus 4, 2. 8 minus 6, 2. So you can see the fixed number is added to each of the preceding numbers. So this is an arithmetic progression. Okay. So if I want to find the common difference, if I want to write these terms, you can see 4 minus 2 is 2, correct? 6 minus 4 is 2. So in all the cases, if you write in general, it will be A2 minus A1. A2 minus A1 is D. A3, if you denote your terms, first term, second term, third term as A1, A2 and A3, then you will see A2 minus A1 will be D when you subtract two consecutive terms. These will be consecutive terms, right? The next two consecutive terms will be this. So A2 minus A1 is D. A3 minus A2 is D. A4 minus A3 is D. So if I take AN, what will be the thing here? AN minus 1, correct? 2, then 2 minus 1 is 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 minus 1 is 3. So if I take n, it will be n minus 1. So AN minus 1 will be your common difference D. So this is in general if we want to write. Now let us see what is the general form of an AP. Now consider an AP A1, A2, A3, A4 up to AN and so on. Okay. Now suppose I denote, or the first term is given by A. So instead of writing A1, suppose I write first term A1 as A. What is A2? A2 is obtained by adding a fixed number. So the common difference, when you add that, I'll get the next number, correct? That fixed number, when I add to A1, I will get A2, correct? So A2 is A1 plus D. But what is A1? A1 is A. So my A2 will be equal to A plus D. Now what is A3? A3 is A2 plus D, correct? I'll get A3 by adding D to the previous term. So A3 is A2 plus D. Now what is A2 from here? A2 is A plus D. So if I substitute, I'll get A2 as A plus D, and this is A plus 2D. So A3 is A plus 2D. Let us see what is A4. A4 is A3 plus D. So what is A3? A3 is A plus 2D. So if I substitute, I get A plus 2D plus D, and this is equal to A plus 3D. So A4 is A plus 3D. So what will be A5? A5 will be A plus 4D, correct? One number less than this. 4 then 3. So A5 will be A plus 4D. What will be A6? A6 will be A plus 5D, and so on. So if I want to write the general form of an AP, it is given by the terms are a1, a2, a3, a4 and so on. So I have denoted first term as a, so it will be a, comma a plus d, comma a plus 2d, comma a plus 3d, a plus 4d and so on. Okay. So this is how we can write the given AP in the general form. Now let us see some examples. Look at the first example. Okay. This is an AP already. So what is the first term here? First term A is 6. And what is the common difference? Common difference you find by, you can take any two numbers. You can either take 12 minus 9 or 15 minus 2 or 9 minus 6, but the numbers should be consecutive numbers. So common difference D is, I have taken 9 minus 6. So 9 minus 6 is 3. In any of the cases you will get the same. 12 minus 9 is also 3. 15 minus 12 is also 3. So when you are asked to find common difference D, you can take any two consecutive numbers and find the difference. Let us take the next example. Minus 7, minus 9, minus 11, minus 13 and so on. What is the first term here? First term A is minus 7. Now let us find the common difference. Common difference is minus 9 minus 7. Okay. It is A2 minus A1 I have taken. A2 minus A1. So I'll get here minus 9 minus into minus plus. So minus 9 plus 7 which is minus 2. So what is the common difference D here? Minus 2. So this is how you find the first term and the common difference of for a given AP. Next, let us learn about finite arithmetic progression and infinite arithmetic progression. What is a finite arithmetic progression? If your AP contains finite number of terms, then it is called a finite AP. Okay? If your AP contains finite number of terms, then it is called a finite AP. So you can look at this example here. This AP contains finite number of terms, correct? 2, 5, 8, so on. And you can see here at the end you have 17. Means what? A finite AP will have the first term as well as a last term. A finite AP will have the first term as well as a last term. So that is the thing about finite APs. Now let us see what is an infinite AP. An infinite AP contains infinite number of terms. Okay, an infinite AP will contain infinite number of terms. Okay, let us take an example. If you look at this term, AP, you can see it is 1, 5, 9, 13 and so on. This AP has a first term, but does it have the last term? No. The list continues, so you don't have a last term to this AP. Okay, so an infinite AP has first term, but it does not have a last term. Now, can you think of an infinite AP? Can you think of an example of an infinite AP? Finite AP you can give many, but I want you to write down example of an infinite AP after the end of this video.